What's up everyone, Clayton here, and today we're back with some more Elder Scrolls 6 wishlist. This is a video series I do every Thursday, or recently once every Thursday, every month or something like that. But anyways, this is a video series I do that we talk about some of the stuff we would like to see in the next Elder Scrolls game that we've dubbed Elder Scrolls 6. So I take some comments from you guys, I usually only take 3, and go ahead and talk about them in this video. Whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the first one, some Stormcloak Brute. He says we need more melee throwable weapons, like how much they had in Morrowind, like darts, knife stars, katanas, spears, and more. They could add back from Morrowind to have a in-depth amount of weapons. But yeah, I've talked about this before, that the weapon diversity in Skyrim is pretty lackluster. There's not really much anything you can really use. It's like you got two-handed weapons and you got one-handed weapons, and then in those weapon subclasses you have 3 sets of weapons, which are like the axes, the swords, and the hammers, which are called different in one-handed and two-handed, but pretty much it's the same as that. You don't really have spears, you don't really have any katanas. There's some one-handed swords that look like katanas, but they are not classified as a different weapon. And like he said, there's no throwable weapons besides, I guess, what do you call it, archery throwable, because you're like launching them. Anyways, but yeah, like darts, and I guess like ninja stars is what he's trying to say there. I'm not really sure how that really works in the lore-wise of Elder Scrolls game. He says there are some of these things in Morrowind, but I've never actually seen them use throwing weapons. I think that'd be really cool to use, and the amount of weapons in the next game has to drastically increase to keep it more enjoyable, I guess you could say, or probably a better way to say is like not as boring. There's more ways to play through the game. Skyrim has many ways to play through the games, but after a while, if you do enough different builds, they all kind of run together and not very different unless you have some sort of story behind it. Next one comes from Alex Romero. He says during character creation, you should be able to pick age from teenager to old woman, or from teenager to old man / woman. The younger you are, you have slightly weaker skills since you're inexperienced, but the stronger stat skills like health and stamina, and are more resistant to things. The older you are, it'll be vice versa. Higher skills, but lower stats and weaknesses since you are old but experienced. I don't know how they could work with the racial bonuses, but I think it'd be cool to have this option. I think it'd be really cool to have the option to picking the age, but I don't think they would have the skills based on your age. That just seems like too much stuff, and you know, they want to kind of keep the game simple for casual gamers as well, that only play like 2 or 3 hours, like a week or something like that. So they wouldn't be able to do that, I think. I think they would just stay with the racial abilities. But to be able to pick from age would be really cool, and helps you to actually create a character. Like if you want to create an old man or like an old wizard or something, it'd be a lot easier to say put the age really high. That way you don't have to worry about like trying to make them look old. The game engine itself could always add the wrinkles and stuff like that already, so you don't have to worry so much about trying to make them look old. Because I use the character creation in Skyrim a lot for my Skyrim builds, and it's kind of difficult to get characters to look different, especially in a different way that you want them to look. If you want them to look a little bit younger, you just kind of have to like try to make them look younger. There's not really like set, this is the young character and here's all the young character models that you can use. So yeah, adding it so you can be able to pick your character and the one that you want to make with the age and the, you know, the heights maybe that you want to have would be really cool to have. The last thing said from Ballistic Brick says crossbows question mark, which I think they'll have crossbows in the next game. But he said also I'd like to see more follower commands, EDE or EG, which I mean is like, for example, guard this place, scout ahead, use these weapons, etc. So yeah, followers in Skyrim kind of sucked in my opinion. They didn't really do much anything that you wanted them to do. They just kind of, if there's an enemy on your minimap with red, they would go after it, and that's about it. You could tell them to do a couple different things, but being able to actually tell them to say, okay, we need to guard this area, don't run off after a bear in the forest or something, or it's like, I want you to scout ahead, and maybe you can actually control them as they scout, so if they get caught, you can bring them back. I guess it'd be kind of funny to like make your follower scout ahead and they get captured by guards and then you have to free them or something like that. And also, like he says, use these different weapon sets. There's characters, I think right off the top of my head, that are followers in Skyrim, like Findal. He is an archer, he's a wood elf archer, and if you try to put heavy armor or use a sword and shield with him, he will revert back to his bow, which would be really nice if you could stop him from doing that. Because I usually pick up Findal as my first follower to do the first quest with the golden claw, and if he keeps switching to his bow, he's not be able to tank for me because I'm a very low level. I need him to tank for me, and it's really annoying for that to happen. So I think you should be able to say, I want you to use these weapons, I want you to use these spells, and I want these follower commands so I can tell you to attack these people, to stay back, or maybe to like guard an area while I search ahead. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and have some more ideas that you want to see in the next Elder Scrolls game, so we can talk about them here. And make sure to put them in the comments down below, and I'll try to talk to them next Thursday, unless I get lazy and don't make videos for like a month. Might not happen again. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and it's Clayton, signing out.